get started.
我らの元に戻れとは申しません。せめて手を引いていただきたい。
それはできん相談だ。
仕方ありませんが、この場は一旦退きましょう。今一度よくお考えくだされ。
Got it, piece of There's one downfall about the Saturn version. They used to do the loading in between the hallways, the PS version. You still got to do additional loading on the Saturn version here. How's it going? Are you serious? Not too much, just playing some Dracula X. If you're looking to play it in the States, you got a couple different options. You can get it for PSP, obviously, with the Dracula X Chronicles, and that comes with both the redone Dracula X and obviously the PSP, or the original PlayStation version with some added upgrades to it on the PSP. But also you can get the original version on the PlayStation. The price has really fluctuated with it recently due to the fact that it's been re-released a couple times, but it can go anywhere from like 40 to 100 bucks depending on where you're getting it from. Another deal is this version that I'm actually playing is a Saturn version that was never released over here in America, so this is the Japanese version actually. Hey, how's the volume? Am I coming out too loud or is this okay? Okay, cool. Much appreciated. One thing about the Saturn version compared to the original PlayStation release is the fact that you can actually play as Maria Renard in this version of the game. You couldn't play as her in the PlayStation version, and even in the re-release that came out for the PSP for Dracula X Chronicles, you still couldn't play as Maria, though she was an actual boss fight, which was an add-on to the original PlayStation game. Can't open that door till I get the jab. Here's another kind of drawback about the Saturn version though. Here I go to fight a boss. In the PlayStation version this was seamless, and in this actually it has to load up all the boss battle portions. So not a long delay, just if you're used to it from the PlayStation version, it's kind of like, what the hell's going on? Now another great thing about this game, if you haven't played a Metroidvania Castlevania type game, like from the ones from Game Boy Advance and everything, there's a lot of backtracking, but in a good sense. Once you get more upgraded, get additional upgrades, there's actually, up above me here, some more powerful add-ons that you can get for your character. But right now I can't do it because I don't have the boots to do the double jump. And because this was a boss arena, we get a loading screen again. There's a lot of reasons why this is one of my favorite Castlevania games. This was actually the reason I bought a PlayStation back in 1997. I was just blown away by how cool this looked for a Castlevania game and how different it was. And another thing that drew me in was the fact that it was a direct sequel to Dracula X, which at the time I didn't play the actual Dracula X that was released on the PC Engine, but I had the Super NES port, which was actually Dracula X or Dracula Double X, depending on what version you're playing. The Japanese version was Double X. The British version was Vampire Kiss. And this game just really drew me in when I first played it. And one of my absolute favorite things about this game is the music. It's very haunting, very melodic, and there's so much of it that it's hard to go to a stage and not enjoy the music in this game. Stage. So again, this is where it would just load up the next stage in the PlayStation version. That's what it used the hallways for in the PlayStation version. And let's check my equipment. Because I'm playing the Japanese version, all the items names are in Japanese, so I kind of forget what actually is what here. Rusted sword, Zatone, nothing here, no helmets or anything yet. Yep, a little bit of the menu screen as well as the first stage. I think actually by the time I started filming, that was the intro music to the a la carte portion. Before you actually start the game, you play as Richter Belmont and you fight Dracula right in the beginning. It kind of says the prologue for the game, but I decided to skip that just because it takes a while to go through everything, and I just kind of wanted to jump right into the action here. Another great thing about this game is all the different weapons and stuff you can get. You know, you're not limited to just say like a whip like you were in some of the original Castlevania games. And you build up levels and stuff like that too. I don't know what the hell that was I just got. Let's see. Must have been a relic of some sort. Oh, I think that actually displays what the enemy names are. It shows hit points over there. Yeah. Okay, if I recall, this is going to be a level that's not in the PlayStation version. I believe that this is one of the Saturn exclusive levels that's not in the PS version. You know, I really enjoyed Lords of Shadow. For what it was worth, you know, it's kind of weird what they're doing with the Castlevania universe, but I did enjoy it. you got to gather the fact that they pretty much just tacked the Castlevania name onto it kind of midway in development just to pick up kind of steam for it so people were interested in it rather than just being a generic adventure game. But for what it's worth, I really enjoyed it. I thought it did capture a good portion of the Castlevania legacy. It's definitely my favorite 3D version out of the bunch. I really didn't like the PlayStation 2 3D versions of the Castlevania game, so it's a step in the right direction, at least if you're going into a 3D direction with the Castlevania universe. But I really, really would like to see more of a direct old school Castlevania, like a 2D one, kind of retroed, or even another proper Castlevania, Metroidvania kind of deal like this is. I liked Castlevania Harmony of Dissidence, or Castlevania HD on the Xbox 360 with Xbox Live, but that really is a multiplayer Castlevania game. It's not a true Metroidvania kind of deal, so that would be something I'd be really looking forward to get, would be kind of something similar to this. Maybe a direct sequel to this, possibly. Okay, this is a new level from the standard version. I've never played this. This is the Curse of Prison. These things do not want to die. Wow. Really nice, creepy, haunted music in this. I like it. Oh, so much for getting far in this. I guess we got to approach it from another angle. I didn't think there were any other paths I saw, so let's see. I'll see with Bionic Commando, I thought the 3D Bionic Commando was okay. I really didn't get into it too much. I have it. It's one of those I got to revisit. I really liked Bionic Commando Rearmed just because it was pretty much a really nice visual remake of the NES version, but I wasn't too big a fan of Rearmed 2. I don't know if it was just the demo, but I couldn't get into it for some reason. So we're headed back to the stage we were at before. We're going to do some more exploring. Obviously we can't go any further in Cursed Prison, but I got some levels built up after that, so that's not a bad deal. My book. I like my book. And let's see where we're going now. Okay, so this basically is opening up the gate to the first level here, which is fine. I gotta come back there anyways eventually, so one less roadblock to get to, that's fine, but now I gotta make my way all the way back upstairs so I can proceed to the clock tower, I believe. Or the library, I haven't decided yet. How's it going, Jason? playing some old school Castlevania. Hard to believe that this game is more than 10 years old. It still holds up. Okay, getting into another area here. So to kind of translate for people who have never played this before, Alucard just kind of walks in on this girl and she's kind of wondering, who are you? He doesn't really identify himself. He kind of more turns the question around and says, what are you doing here? And she mentions that she's actually looking for her friend Richter Belmont, who's kind of mysteriously disappeared. Castlevania has reappeared for some strange reason as well. It's only supposed to appear every once 100 years, and I believe it suddenly reappeared after 4 years. So she basically says, well, you're kind of a jerk, but if you happen to see my friend, tell him I'm looking for him. Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow was good. Order of Ecclesia was really good. I've pretty much played all the DS games. I think the only one I haven't really played on the handheld portables is the third one that came out for Game Boy Advance. Maybe I didn't play that one, I don't remember. I get all the portable ones mixed up. Or I take that back, it was the first portable Castlevania on Game Boy Advance that I never played. I think that was Circle of the Moon. Castlevania games, Jason, it's all about trial and error. It's a lot like the Mario games. Let's see if it's in the Saturn version, but if you pay attention to the background here, yep, I see it. There's a giant eyeball watching you as you walk to the stage here. I can't tell you when the original Castlevania came out for NES. My sister bought it for me for Christmas a couple years after it was released. My first one was actually Castlevania 2, which I liked. When I played Castlevania 1, it was a massive difference for me. At first I didn't like it, but I got used to a different style of play. Obviously, I thought I got stoned. lot easier than Castlevania 2, just because Castlevania 2 had so much obtuseness to try to get to certain areas and stuff. But I could get very far in the original Castlevania, no problem, until I got to Dracula, and that would just take me hours and hours and hours to beat. And I think we're going into the Watchtower now. Yeah, I think it was Circle of the Moon I didn't play. And I think that was the very, very first one. I think I maybe played it very briefly. I think I bought like a Game Boy Advance on its release date, and I think I played the thing for like 10 minutes. I had money to blow at the time, because I think I was, God, I want to say like 17, 18. And I just picked it up and played it once, and never really went through it until the next Castlevania game came out, which that one I really enjoyed. If we look through here, we should be able to see the fisherman. Let's see if he's here yet. Yep. Now the point to seeing if this guy is on the river, if you see him, he will then help you in the underground catacombs later. If you don't look at this, I don't believe he'll show up. Yeah, 1986 sounds about right for Castlevania. It came out cartridge-based here, but on the Famicom, it didn't come out in a cartridge-based format, I'm pretty sure. I believe it only came out on the Famicom disc system. I have that as well. So I have all the American releases for the original Castlevania trilogy, and I have all the Famicom versions too. The first versions, Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2 were on Famicom disc system, and the third one actually came out on a cartridge format just for the Famicom, or the third one rather. And that actually had a special chip in it. It gave it enhanced graphics and more sound channels. It's actually better than the original version that came out on the NES version, though Castlevania 3 for the Famicom is actually the original version, I should say. But like in the oops, wrong way. American version of Castlevania 3, Grant doesn't throw knives, he just has a little dagger that he stabs with. In the Famicom version, he actually throws daggers 24/7, which makes the last Dracula fight really easy. Oh yeah, I highly recommend the PSP version of this. Not only are you getting the revamped Dracula X, Circle of Blood, you're also getting Symphony of the Night, which is actually an enhanced port of the PlayStation version. It doesn't have all the features of the Saturn version, but it has a lot more features than the original PlayStation version does. It was a really good port. All the music's there except one track. Awesome portable. I played that last year and really enjoyed it. And plus, another extra bonus feature is you actually can unlock the PC engine or the Turbo Duo version of Dracula X Rondo of Blood as well. So for pretty much $19 or less, depending on where you go, you're getting a really, really, really good deal on 3 great Castlevania games. So I highly recommend it. It wasn't as popular as it should have been when it first came out. A lot of people skipped over it, which was unfortunate. Yeah, if you can find it, most GameStops have it for super cheap. I think I'm going to be fighting my double here if I recall. New sword. What do we got here? Ooh, that little dagger's nice too, though. We'll go with this. Oh, Valkyrie Chronicles was really, really good. I really enjoyed that game. I like that game a lot. Next month, I think one I'm pretty much really, really looking forward to is Yakuza 4. Big fan of the Yakuza games. Yakuza. Hopefully they decide to bring over Yakuza of the End too, the zombie one that they have out over in Japan, or that's coming out. Yeah, Jason, that's the one we were talking about for PSP. That's a really, really good deal. It's got this game on it. It's got the revamped version of Rondo of Blood and the original Rondo of Blood too. I hope they bring the PSP Yakuza game that's supposed to come out. Because that looked interesting, even if the game was different. I played the demo of Kansas and I got through it pretty decently. I really wish they would have brought that over and translated that one, but I guess they thought that no one would be interested in it. I'm just happy they're not cutting out all that stuff like they did with Yakuza 3 for the PlayStation 3, and I'm happy that they're keeping most of the features that were over in Japan for the English release. Can't be Game Facts. That site has saved me so many times. I love that site. I had to use GameFAQs recently for a third birthday. I imported the Japanese version of it. You can get through most of it without a guide, but there are some areas that you just need a little extra helping hand with. And that's a great game. I'm going to be picking up the American version of that too. I really enjoyed it. Very different from all the other Parasite Eves. Like extremely different, but still fun in its own way. Yeah, I really liked the birthday a lot. I really enjoyed it. The thing is, though, and I'll warn you now, you can't go into third birthday expecting Parasite Eve, or for that matter, Parasite Eve 2, which I really didn't like Parasite Eve 2 that much anyway, but I love the first Parasite Eve. But there's a couple storyline references from the... This is the librarian here of the castle that sells you various stuff like maps and items and various other unlockable things that you can get. He's the only one who, other than Maria, that really helps Alucard on his quest here. The best way to describe third birthday would probably be take a little bit of the graphics of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and throw it in with probably like Gears of War, I'd say. It's It's got a cover system, it's got an overdrive system, stuff like that. But it's fun. The story is interesting. The ending will throw you for a loop, I'll tell you that for sure. And I was really confused when I beat it the first time. And obviously, with it being in Japanese, I was like, what in the hell is going on here? But I eventually figured out what's going on. But the ending's cool. It's definitely worth the pickup. I've definitely spent some time in there. A lot of cool action cutscenes in the game. Just don't go into it expecting Parasite Eve. Go into it expecting an action game with Ibria in it. Another reason I think that they kind of changed it too, and they kind of strayed away from all the big references from the first Parasite Eve games, other than the characters and a few other things, is Parasite Eve, if you don't know, was originally a Japanese novel, and Square bought the rights to Parasite Eve, with the name and everything, and that's another big reason why it's changed from being called Parasite Eve to the third birthday, is because they can't get the license for it anymore. I don't know if it was a disagreement or whatever, but that happened shortly after Parasite Eve 2. I think it was because Parasite Eve 2 did badly that there was no renewal of the license. But a lot of the references to mitochondria and all that stuff are very, very rare because they're trying not to touch any of the intellectual properties with the actual Parasite Eve book. So at least that's what I was gathering from the Japanese version. Maybe in the American version they'll tie more things into it, but I think they were trying to avoid legal red tape there, which is why the references to the first two games are kind of rare. Alright, back to the action here.
また何かご用ですか？
これについて
Do I want to buy it? Sure. I think
ありがとうございます。
that was a map.
では、またのお越しを。
I actually really like Conda too. Of course, you can't go wrong with the main character, but Conda was really cool. I understand probably like 90% of this, but again, that's really only because I played the American version on PlayStation. My understanding of Japanese writing is very, very, very poor. I can understand the spoken language a lot better, if that makes any sense at all. As far as I've had some Japanese friends and stuff like that, so I was used to hearing the language. And as far as reading it, it's very poor. I've actually been thinking about taking Japanese classes and stuff eventually down the line, but it just comes a matter of time. I mean, I'm so busy with work lately, I barely get any time to do pretty much anything, so it all depends. But for the most part, I'm taking everything I learned from the American version and kind of just cutting and pasting it with the Japanese version. Except when the characters are actually talking, I have a pretty good understanding of what they're saying, for the most part. Like if I'm watching, a good example is Game Center CX, if I'm watching that, like I can read the subtitles, but I can't really understand what the host is saying all the time because he uses almost like a slang form of Japanese. I don't remember the term for it exactly, but it's an interesting language. I really like to learn. I really like to visit Japan, but it's eventually something I want to do is go to Japan, but I want to go all over the world to be absolutely honest. China, United Kingdom, Australia, all sorts of places. The Japanese voice acting in this is definitely great and sure beats the heck out of the original PlayStation American acting. The original PlayStation American voice acting was pretty bad. That's laughable. If I remember right, I gotta unlock the elevator here. So now I can use the elevator that's on the right hand side here. now I believe I got the wolf form. So now if I hold this down, I can transform into the wolf. You can upgrade him. He does running and stuff. You can use him to blast through certain walls and barriers and stuff like that. But the issue is with the Saturn version is it has a hard time loading it seemingly. See how the frame rate just seems to dip when you're using him? That never happened on the PlayStation version, which is shocking because Saturn was always kind of known as a 2D powerhouse. Yep, I played, Matt, a good portion of the GBA Castlevania games. I played the second and third one, but didn't play Circle of the Moon, I believe it was. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, Jason, that you took Japanese classes. That's pretty cool. But computer animation is, if it's a needed thing for college, I can understand that. I believe we're going into a warp zone area here, where we can kind of transfer around the castle through these portals. I like how the debris gets sucked in. Another spot we can open up here for the first stage. I have pretty much all of the modern consoles, Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3. Immediately I bought a PS3 for Metal Gear Solid 4 because I'm a big Metal Gear fan. And then after that, after I picked it up, I started getting into the other exclusives. Like, I really like Heavenly Sword for PS3. That game is really underrated. It's absolutely fantastic. Fell in love with Uncharted, and obviously I picked up Uncharted 2. Heavenly Rain, good God. Heavy Rain, really like that one. Typically, I only pick up stuff on the PlayStation 3 if it's the exclusive stuff. Otherwise, if it's the multi-platform stuff, I generally pick that up on the Xbox 360 just because I prefer the multiplayer aspect a little bit on Xbox Live more than I do on PlayStation 3. But by no means do I think that PlayStation is an inferior console. I think the PS3 is great. Definitely looking forward to Uncharted 3. And what are your guys' opinions on the new PlayStation Portable that's coming out? That obviously looks phenomenal, and that's going to have Uncharted on it. I'm really interested in that. And really quick, this is probably one of my top 3 favorite songs for this game. This is Clock Tower. This is Young Nobleman of Sadness. Absolutely love the music to this stage. Holy crap, giant skull. Super Famicom is great. One of my readers over at OnLetterLogic.com sent me one. He had an extra one box and everything. Very cool console. Now I can officially play my Super Famicom games and not have to use a Game Genie to play them on my Super NES. But typically if I play Super Famicom games, I'm playing the translated ROMs on my Power Pack. But it's always nice to play them on the original hardware for my Super Famicom games. I haven't decided if I'm going to get a 3DS yet, to be absolutely honest with you guys. I'm a big Street Fighter fan, so of course I have interest in the Street Fighter game that's coming out for it. And there's other games that look cool on it. I'm obviously really happy that the Metal Gear game is coming to it, even though it's a remake of 3. But I don't know. I think I'm still bitter about Virtual Boy, to be absolutely honest with y'all. That was one I picked up kind of when it launched, and that didn't go very well. So I guess I can let the bitterness go now because it has been, what, like 10 years, but I don't know if I'm super drawn into it. And that doesn't mean I'm never going to get one. This is right at this moment. I'm not super interested in it. Yeah, that's for sure. Both systems are definitely going to be great. There's no doubt about that. Another thing is that I got a gaming convention to go to that same week that the game's being released out, and that extra $300 would be really sweet for picking up some stuff over at the Midwest Gaming Classic, because there is always great stuff you can get from there. Pierce Solar, I have heard of. There's a couple other games that I heard that were mentioned, like I believe there was another RPG that was put out over in Japan that was kind of like independently made and everything. I'm sure there's ROMs of them floating around on the net. I actually have a Genesis EverDrive, so whenever I have the time and I want to look for the ROMs, I do have a way of actually playing them on the Sega EverDrive. If I like them, then I typically end up buying the action cards. Waiting for a decent amount of time to pass before you pick up the system. I mean, the only real system I jumped on recently was the Xbox 360. And granted, Perfect Dark Zero was decent, and it had Call of Duty 2, but I played it before on the PC, so the lineup was a little lackluster for me, except when Dead or Alive came out. But I waited for PS3 because Resistance didn't interest me at all. But then when Metal Gear 4 came out, I was all over that. That was a good time because after I was done with Metal Gear, I had a ton of stuff to play. Me personally, I don't think Sega will ever make a new console because it's, I don't know. The odds aren't good in their favor, which is a shame. The Dreamcast was ahead of its time. It just didn't come out ahead of its time enough, unfortunately. PS2 put the final nail in the coffin with that. And money-wise, I just don't think it makes sense for them to put out another system. I really don't. Especially when they can go for pretty much any platform at this point. You know, if they put out a system that just played Yakuza games, I would buy it. Not really. Okay, so Maria and Alucard are basically meeting here again. She basically is trying to lead him along a little bit, like, oh, you're still alive. And Alucard says, you didn't run into me just to tell me that. So pretty much she says, you know, have you run into my friend Richter at all? And when he hears the name Richter, he suddenly says, isn't Richter a Belmont? and off she goes. Another set of great music here. See, I'd like to see Death Smiles on either the 3DS or the new PlayStation Portable, the NGP or whatever it's called. NGP to me will always be Neo Geo Pocket though. Another set of great music here. And correct me if I'm wrong, Death Smiles didn't come out for the PS3, did it? You would have thought that that would have been a perfect game to put on the PS3, and even if you didn't do a local disc-based release for it, put it on the PSN network, I think people really would have enjoyed it. It does kind of seem like a weird system to put on, but if you think about it, we've had like Raiden 4 was released on that, as well as a couple other shooters. My favorite SNK fighter, I really love Guerrero Mark of the Wolves. That's probably my favorite. But otherwise, King of the Fighters 99 is another favorite. And even though people seem to hate it for some reason, I do like SNK versus Capcom. Though the bosses are really, really, really cheap in that. Yeah, I'd probably say Guerrero Mark of the Wolves. I really, really like that one. I really like the fighting system in it. What about you, Matt? What's your favorite SNK fighter? One other SNK fighter, now I'm thinking there are two more. I really like Rage of the Dragons, as well as Double Dragon. I thought those were fun too. Yeah, Last Blade's another good one. Double check something here. Favorite Castlevania game is either this one or probably 1 or 2 for the NES. It's a really hard one. But this one's definitely on the top of my list. Yep, Samurai Showdown's another SNK one. Demon Souls. I'm kind of interested in the sequel, but God, did that first game kick my ass. I played that all through Christmas of 2009, I want to say, and I didn't get very far on it at all, to be absolutely honest with you, but man, that game was tough, but it was fun. That's another one of those that I really need to pick up and play through again. Up to that really, really tall boss, that like robotic night boss, and it kicked my ass after like a 45-minute battle, and after that I think I stopped. Yep. The Tower Knight, there you go. and I have to admit, I did pee a little bit when one of those black souls came, like from the other player, hunting you down. That scared me. But thankfully, I was able to get rid of him because he fell off one of the ledges up on one of the stairs, which is hilarious. That was freaky. Yeah, that'll be another one of those games that I try to play eventually, either when I have a vacation or when I have some time off. It's for me, it's rough to play a lot of games that have long playability, like even Yakuza and stuff like that, because I just don't have the time anymore. With this one, you can play as any of the other two characters right off the bat. It's right at the start screen. And pretty much the thing is, even in the American release and the Japanese release on the PlayStation 1 version, you could play as another character. You could play as Richter, but you had to beat the game once and have a certain percentage in order to unlock them. And in this, you can play as Richter and Maria right off the bat. But kind of the crappy thing about being able to play the other characters is there's no RPG elements to it. Like, you don't build levels up. There's no different weapons. You have the same weapons throughout everything. Everything's pretty much accessible right off the bat because you have all the double jump abilities and the ability to fly around the map without any issues. But there's no storyline whatsoever with either of the characters. So there's no developing moments in it. Even the ending is just kind of you looking at the castle as it crumbles, and that's it. You also don't fight Dracula at the end. Yep, pretty much a fan service. Yeah, I hope they bring Yakuza out, or maybe they'll bring it up to another country and I'll import it or whatever. That's what I like about the PSP is the fact that it's got no region encoding. Region free, gotta love it. New stage. I take that back. Boss. Giant cardinal. Check out that background there, that picture. That is awesome. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to play it over a game of, like, say, Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 4. I guess honestly, I like slower based fighters. Now I did really like Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I thought that was a lot of fun. But Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is like so chaotic to me, and like I don't know, it just seems like one of those games you can button mash your way through. And that's not to say that there's any, there's no strategy to it, because there is obviously, but it's almost too chaotic for me. I really like the slower based Street Fighter games.
すごい腕前。私の出番なんてないみたいね。
何の用だ。そんなことを言いに来たわけではあるまい。
まあね。リヒター・ベルモンド。
Did you enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Spokes?
彼が1年前から行方不明なの。きっとここに来てると思うわ。見かけたら私に知らせてほしい。
いいだろう。
ありがとう。案外優しいのね。それじゃよろしく。
I do like the graphics though. The graphics in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 are pretty amazing. You guys have any interest for the Street Fighter vs. Tekken and Tekken vs. Street Fighter that's coming out? You know, I think I would agree with you there, Matt. I really enjoy Third Strike too. I do enjoy Third Strike a lot more over Street Fighter 4, and that's I've played both for a very, very long time. The Third Strike was just a phenomenal game, and so was Alpha 2. I really liked Alpha 2, but I know Third Strike is coming to Xbox Live hopefully soon. I know they did the announcement for it like a year or two ago. New sword. Oh, new shield too. See what happens when I'm not even paying attention. New armor. All I know is I'm probably going to be picking up the Street Fighter versus Tekken rather than the Tekken versus Street Fighter. I haven't really enjoyed a Tekken game since Tekken 3. Anything after that, I've just never really dug the fighting system. And I know there's people who swear by Tekken, but I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm sure the fighting system will be really different. You gotta wonder too, because I don't really recall any Tekken fighters having any projectiles or anything like that, do they? Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Jason, I have a component cable that hooks up to the bottom of the PSP and just outputs to a TV like normal, and I just plug that into my Hodgepodge HD capture box, and that's pretty much it. Screen, especially if you're playing like really long sessions, because after like 4 hours of playing on a PSP, I start to get headaches, so it's nice to switch it over to a big screen, especially if you've got a lot of sessions going on. That's the only kind of thing that worries me about the NGP, is the fact that they haven't announced any kind of video out for it. But I guess at the same time, if you think about it, because of the touchscreen, if they did do a video out, you'd be losing a key feature of it. So that's a little rough. Because I really like the fact that you can output stuff like that. I really wish the DS had the option to do output to TV. But for any time I capture footage from that, I pretty much just get a DS emulator and hit the ROM on that to do footage capture for that. But if that screen is as beautiful as they say for the NGP, then I guess we won't have to worry about having to put it on a bigger screen. You never know. It's always nice to have options, though. But you know, now that I think of it, they could have a video out without it affecting the touchscreen, because what they could do is, even though the physical touchscreen or the physical screen is off on the NGP, you could still physically use the screen itself as a touch portion of it, so it interact with the game. And you do have that back touchpad. And I mean, really, you could do the same thing too with a DS. Just kind of use the screen as more of a touch deal. Though I guess it'd be hard to kind of visualize. I don't know. Let's see where this takes us. I think this takes us to back to the clock tower, if I recall. Back here. It just amazes me how powerful portable systems are. I mean, if you would have told me 15 years ago that I'd be able to have something that could do PlayStation stuff in my hand, and now tell me that I can get a portable device that can do PlayStation 3 stuff, or a Game Boy like thing that can play stuff like Nintendo 64 and beyond, like, I would think you were crazy. That's the reality of it. Wait, I didn't want to go here. Oops. Go back to the Castle Keep here. I think I want to go to the Colosseum. Touchscreen for Street Fighter actually isn't that bad. At least it isn't for Street Fighter 4. I mean, Street Fighter 4 on the iPod Touch or the iPhone is really, really playable, and you use the touchpad for like doing super moves as well as the ultra combos. And even the digital pad they have for it isn't too bad. I was really shocked. So it can be done. It just has to be developed really well. Let's see. If I recall, there's a way to do... That's not it. That's not it. That's not it either. There we go. Forgot about the map feature here. So that'll get me to the Castle Keep. I think we pretty much have to go back down and start going through the underground catacombs so I can start getting some additional power-ups here. I don't think a new regular console's coming out. I think Xbox is still in it for the long haul. Nintendo's focus is going to be 3DS, so they're not going to waste their time putting out another new console when they can still use the Wii as kind of their backbone. Zoids. What was it? Wasn't that a cartoon? I know I've seen them. I think I've heard of the cartoon more. Maybe I thought there was a cartoon for some reason, but I have heard of them. Alright, let's see if we can remember how to do the cameras here. I gotta remember what portion it was to get to them. Crying out loud. What are you using for online service, DSL? Okay, yeah, that does sound familiar then. I don't collect them though, unfortunately. They really don't sell, there's a couple anime/model shops around here, but when I say around here, I actually mean they're always an hour away, so kind of far out. Are you serious? You may want to check and see if maybe one of your line filters are bad. Do you have a filter that goes to your phone? Okay, now I remember how to get it. The area where I need to go is down here, and I need to open it up. Now that I have the gym that opens up the doors, I can go up here and unlock it. Because when I had AT&T, I used to have that problem, and I didn't have a digital filter on there. So anytime a call would come in, an analog call would come in, it would interfere with the digital signal and drop the internet on me. Really fun for when you were playing Xbox Live. Oh, nice. Glad you like the music. I got more coming along. It's again one of those things where I'm busy. I don't get a chance to do it as much as I'd like to anymore. But I got more coming on the way. What kind of music you play? Kind of the same deal, or how's it going, Super Curb? Usually can't go wrong with Tiesto. Like, I like Tiesto. I like a lot of progressive stuff too. Like, I like Morgan Page, Deadmau5, a lot of progressive break stuff, like Hybrid, big Way Out West fan. Yeah, this goes on. Some drum and bass stuff too, like really like Pendulum. Hayuken's a really good Prodigy-ish kind of band. Oh yeah, Daft Punk? You can't go wrong with Daft Punk. The Tron Legacy soundtrack they did was phenomenal. Trance group I really like is Mind in a Box too. They're kind of underrated, but they're great. Hey Super Curb, you know, it has been a couple weeks since I've uploaded a video, but I want to say it was like one or 2 weeks ago. But that's weird. I don't know if there was an error with subscriptions or what. I was having a lot of issues with YouTube a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. But cool to see you're subscribed again. Thanks, I appreciate that. I always try to do something a little unique or put my own take on it because these days, you know, if you type in Super Famicom System Review, there's about 500 videos for it, so I always kind of hope that mine are a little interesting or a little bit different, so just so you're not watching the same thing over and over again from channel to channel. It's getting harder to do, unfortunately. I'm kind of hoping at the Midwest Gaming Classic that I can pick up a new system. I'm hoping either for a CD32 or maybe a Neo Geo AES, but with all the arcade cabinets I have, I'd almost rather just get a Neo Geo MVS, so I'm not sure. For Game Boy Color, I have not. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Oh, thanks, Spokesman. I'm glad you like the I Remember series. I'm kind of like at a crossroads with that. Like you probably saw I started it with the Sega CD and was going through stuff and uploading various videos from Sega CD. And to me, it just had the same effect like the original series had. So I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it or maybe I'll dig up some more gaming memories that have a little bit more meaning to me. Because I don't know, the Sega CD one just is a little lackluster to me, which is why I really haven't been uploading game videos for it. Not sure on the 3DS at Supercurve. Don't have it pre-order or anything. I got a gaming convention that same weekend, and I kind of want to have the money around for stuff I could buy there. So I'm not too sure yet. What about you? You picking up 3DS? I should do I Remember on the Jaguar, because that's like a horror story to begin with. God, that didn't go well. I was actually hoping to do a few more video tours of some various stores around here. The only one I was able to do was the Moe's Gaming, which I know a lot of people said is expensive, but as far as variety, they got the most amount of stuff. But I was originally hoping to do a video over at Trade and Try Games in the city about 15 minutes from here, but the owner's just opened the store, and I think he's a little leery about putting the store on YouTube for some reason, but it would be good exposure for him. So I'm just looking for ways to do new content. I'm really excited about the Midwest Gaming Classic because I'm going to be there all weekend. I have a reserved hotel room and everything. It's a Saturday and Sunday thing, so there'll be a lot of footage on the floor and probably a live broadcast during my stay when I'm in the hotel room just because I'll be bored. So I'll probably be broadcasting game system or maybe doing emulation off screen or whatever, but just to keep things interesting. I want to see if there's a way I can get my air card and laptop to work in a hotel room so I can kind of do a live walking through the whole convention stuff on there. Yep, definitely going to have footage, and even my recorded footage is going to be a lot better with it. Last year when I went, I had an older generation flip that doesn't have image stabilization. The new one I have now does have image stabilization, which is really nice. It's not perfect, but it'll be better when I'm moving stuff around so people won't feel like throwing up when they watch the video. But I'll be doing, obviously, all the merchandise booths they have there. I got permission to film the gaming museum last year. I couldn't do it because they had some issue with that, but I got permission to film it this year. They got every system on display. They got game rooms, they got arcade games, they got pretty much everything. This is another new stage that wasn't featured in the PlayStation version. I think this is another cursed person. Now those events are always where I get some really cool stuff. Like last year I got the Neo Geo CD, I got my 6-button pad for my PC Engine so I can play Street Fighter. Got a lot of good stuff there. The scary thing is they always have some really cool pinball machines there, and I'm afraid I'm going to go balls out and go buy another one, which I really don't have room for another pinball machine. I'm just curious, where are all you guys from? Jason, I know you're in Canada, obviously. Nice, Supercurve. My national data center for my job is in DC, actually. Newfoundland, huh? Very cool. That's another place I want to check out. Now, in Newfoundland, are you guys running off PAL or NTS? NTS? Yeah, NTSC. Where the hell did I just go? Ah, there we go. It's pretty much just a hallway in between it. I don't think there are any other places to go. It's probably this level's music. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. Is that better, guys? I think for some of these new levels, they didn't bother to do any sound matching with the other levels. Oh, spokesman, what I was asking was, in Newfoundland, are you guys using PAL or NTSC? Okay. Check my map here. See if this is just a pretty much straight path here. If that leads to that. Yeah, I guess so. A little lackluster for an extra stage, but an extra stage nonetheless. So that's cool. That means you can play American games without any issue then, right? I don't think there's no different region for Newfoundland, right? It's still region 1 or whatever. The female singer in all my songs, that is Cassie Nelson, and yeah, she is actually on the wife's side of my family. She's legally now my cousin, actually, but that is my wife's cousin, and she always just pretty much goofed around when it came to singing and stuff like that. And I forgot what song, I think it was BT's Remember, but she started singing with it, and I was like, oh my god, she's actually pretty good. So for the heck of it, I just said, hey, I got this song, why don't you just try singing on it and see what you think. And you know, just kind of like my style, we both kind of, you know, evolved with each other and everything, and pretty much every song she just keeps getting better and better. So she's a great singer, great personality too. The girl's a riot to work with. I mean, the hardest thing about working with her in the studio is we both have a really good sense of humor, and we make a lot of jokes. So usually half the time we're making jokes rather than getting work done, but she's a blast. How am I recording the TV? I have what is this thing? This is a Pinnacle video capture device, and I have 2 splitter boxes essentially connected to all my video game consoles. And what I do is I got, for this particular console, it's running S-Video out. I have an S-Video splitter, so I run the S-Video to the TV and to the multi-box, and then another S-Video splitter all the way around to the computer, to the Dazzler itself, so this signal is split. So I'm playing live on a TV right now, and it's also streaming the video right from the game console itself. And the sound you're hearing is actually coming from a Microsoft LifeCam. I do have an option to actually pipe the audio itself, the game audio through it, but because of Ustream's producer studio light, they won't let you do multiple channels at once. They want like $1,000 for you to be able to mix things, so if you could screw that, I'll just use a live mic. But I will definitely let her know that you like her voice and like her work. She will be appearing on a couple of the new tracks that's coming out on my new album, Rough Groove Surface. More details about that will be announced as soon as they come. Which I'm hoping for a summer release for that, but with the way work's been, with a couple other things going on, it's been rough to work on stuff, but we're making progress. What we're really hoping for eventually is to do some live stuff. Last year when I was still signed to Something Else Records, we actually had a decent sized tour planned. We were going to hit a couple of states, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, stuff like that. But the label went under because of a copyright issue with another artist on their label, and all the funding and kind of all the extra musicians I had on hand for it were going to be gone. I had like a live drummer, I had a guitarist, I had another keyboard player who was going to be really awesome, and it all kind of broke down. The nice thing is, though, with the live stuff, we do it thanks to the availability of the internet and the air cards and stuff like that. Any shows, live shows and stuff I will be doing, I will be broadcasting them live if possible. So for those who are out of the country and can't come, they can kind of see what Unlimited Logic is like live. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ugh, snakes. I don't like snakes. I'm a fan of snakes. Only good snake is a dead snake. Unless it's solid snake, which in that case, that's not a good dead snake. Vampires do not like water. I was going to do a big snake when the thing came out, but I decided to save your eardrums. Super Kirk knows what's going on. Ah, snake! I don't remember her having that many attacks in the original mission. Snake's ass was distracting him? Wow. There's so many bad jokes that could be made from that. I'm not even going to say them. Yes, I do have Twin Snakes. I had it when it first came out, and for whatever reason I traded it, and then I picked it up again from a GameStop for like $1.99. I finished that one last year. I like the extra cutscenes and everything, but I absolutely hate the GameCube controller for it. So I ended up getting a PS2 controller to GameCube adapter just to kind of play it correctly, or at least a little bit more accurately, and it turned out very nice. I love the original one, and Twin Snakes is a little bit of a remake because it has some extra cutscenes and stuff, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah, that's kind of my stick. Is I will wait on games, or I'll wait for deals and stuff like that. Unless it's a new release, I absolutely have to have. But a lot of my retro stuff I get for very, very, very cheap. But now it's getting harder to do now that there's been really a retro boom of stuff. I mean, it's funny looking around the area to see how much prices have increased for stuff. Just recently, I went over to our trade-in play about 15 minutes away, and they were selling China Warrior for the TURBOGRAFX-CD PC engine for $39.99, and that game is worth about $2. So it's just kind of it's sad to see that with the whole boost of retro games that the prices for everything are increasing again. Because what's bound to happen is when people start losing interest, those fans that just got into it for the heck of it, it's going to make the whole value thing kind of crash. But then again, I don't play games to get their value, so. Psycho Mantis, yes indeed. I thought it was amazing when he said, because I had kept this game actually, Castlevania Symphony of Night, loaded up on my memory card, and he goes, "You like Castlevania, don't you?" I was like, "Whoa, that's amazing." And then I played it again later, and he was like, "You like Suikoden or Suikoden, or however you say it. I think it's Suikoden actually." But it was really cool how he read the memory card. And in Twin Snakes, he reads a crap load of games. Like, he'll read almost any Nintendo game, Eternal Darkness, like Smash Brothers, all sorts of stuff. It's hilarious. What was the boss on the roller skates? What was that guy called? What was that? Oh yeah, that was Fat Man, I think. I'm sure you guys played the third one. Snake Eater. That one I really like. Nothing wrong with that. Twin Snakes is a good game. It is cool that they're bringing 3 to 3DS. You know, I have both Mega Man Legends games. I have the first one and the second one, and I think I have the one for 64, which I hear is not a good port of it. But honestly, I cannot remember if I even played through the first one. I think I started it. I think it kind of threw me off that it was a 3D Mega Man game. And so many people say it's an excellent game. That's another one I gotta add to the list. Killzone 3, I have not yet. I want to, but I have not beat Killzone 2, which I have. I don't know, do you think, should I play through Killzone 2 before I get 3, or if I jumped into 3, would I be okay? I haven't heard anything about a Mega Man game for Xbox Live recently, actually. I don't know. Yep, played through Dead Space 2 and beat it. I actually had Dead Space 1 for a long time, and that was one of those I didn't beat either, so the week before Dead Space 2 was released, I went through and played the first one, so it was like jumping right into the second one as soon as I was done. It was really cool. Alrighty then, maybe I'll have to pick up Killzone 3 shortly then. Are you playing it with the move attachment at all, or are you just playing it with the joystick? Nice. I would probably say the joystick would be the preferred way to play it, but that move accessory does seem kind of interesting to me. I would love to see a new Star Fox game for 3DS as well. I'm a huge fan of the Star Fox games. I've got the never released Star Fox 2 on Super NES from a Repro card I got made for it. I'm a huge fan of that. I actually did my last live broadcast I did about 2 months ago when I was reviewing the games, so I kind of on the fly. I did that game live. And that was fun. I like that one. Yep, like a 3D version of Star Fox 64, I think. I just wonder if people are getting sick at all from playing the 3DS. Here's the Raftman. He's creepy sounding. The ferryman. Have a good one, Jason. Thanks for jumping on. Hello, Frito. See Derby. The real thing is, though, I mean, for all those people on here that are buying a 3DS, are you really buying it for the fact that it's a 3D system, or are you buying it for the fact that it's got enhanced graphics and everything, period? I mean, because the 3D is kind of like a bonus thing that kind of interests me. It's a little gimmicky to me, but I just like the fact about all the games that are actually coming out for it seem awesome. Doing movies on the 3DS? I wasn't sure if they announced that or not. It's a good idea, actually. Well, I heard hackers already got their that R4 flash memory cartridge working on the 3DS. Okay, I didn't realize it, but I got the double jump. So now I can go hit some additional areas here. I think now I can go hit the library as well as I can hit a couple of things in the chapel. Actually, I think I can get this here too. What's the new Pokemon game that's coming out? Is it like Pokemon Black or something? You guys heard of that Pokemon Black where like you play as like an ultimate Pokemon or whatever, and at the end of it, it kills you or something like that? I remember reading something about that like last year. Yeah, like you have like the black Pokemon or whatever. It was like a homebrew, someone made it. Like you basically kill or capture all the Pokemon with one hit, but at the end of the game, like you become so powerful it kills you or something like that. That may not be absolutely right, but it had something to do with that. Okay, I think I got the Coliseum to hit. Go hit the library first. I think I can go hit Soul Bat then. It's honestly been years since I played a Pokemon game. I don't have anything against them. It's God, I think it was either red or blue I played. It's been a long time. My younger brother loved them. I mean, he had all of them. Do I prefer this over the PS version? I don't know yet. I'm a little disenchanted with the fact that the game slows down when you go into wolf mode. I mean, look at this. Okay, actually, it's not acting too bad, but on certain areas there's a delay when you're playing a wolf. It's like they had to skip frames for it. But the extra stages and the fact that you can play as Maria is really cool. I do like the extra stages. So, can't really decide yet, to be absolutely honest with you. I do definitely like the Japanese language track in this much better than the American version for obvious reasons. Don't have that power yet. I've played Mother 1. I've played Earthbound, obviously. That was the first one I played. I have Mother on the NES. I have a reproduction card on that I bought at the Midwest Game Classic about 2 years ago. That was a lot of fun. And I've played an emulated version of Mother 3, but maybe only got an hour or two into it. And the sad thing about Earthbound is the fact that we will probably never see a virtual console release of it because of all of the big controversy, and I think there were a couple lawsuits with some of the music out of the game. Like there's versions that play really close to like The Who Won't Get Fooled Again is basically on there, and there's a couple other songs that I can't remember have like copyright issues on it. I remember Nintendo got into some trouble about it. If you look online, you can find stuff about it. It was just a standard Japanese to North American trade-off. They thought Earthbound would be more interesting than Mother would be, because obviously they couldn't call it Mother 2 with the fact that the first Mother never released, because that would confuse American audiences anymore. So when they brought it over, they just decided to call it Earthbound. There's my form of mist that I need to get. Yeah, too many legal issues with the music and references and stuff like that because of various things, so I don't think it'll ever come out on Virtual Console. If they do, they'll have to change things, and it just wouldn't be the same. And Nintendo probably won't go out of its way to do it unless it's a full-fledged remake. I'm sure it can't be too hard, but I mean, it goes with the same thing with Mother 64 or Earthbound 64 that was supposed to come out. I mean, they pretty much had that game finished for the most part, and they just decided to can it, and there was really no reason for them to do it, but they did. How far am I into this? Maybe about 35%. The thing is about this game is it actually has 3 different endings. Most people, you finish the game with just the normal boss fight and it ends, but if you do things correctly, you get 2 secret items, then you actually go to another castle that's completely inverted, and then you fight the true bosses. I think for this session, though, I am going to go ahead and just beat it for the first ending. Yeah, that's one of the cape features. Different capes do different things. Well, good. I'm glad you're deciding to pick it up because it's a classic, and the fact that you're getting this on PSP, there are the 2 other games. There's obviously the remake of Rondo of Blood, but then there's this and the PC Engine. I mean, for what you're paying, what you're gonna pay for it, you're getting a great deal. Hannah Montana, wow. I'd be spray painting that thing. Oop, didn't want to go that way. Yep, it's a real PSP. I've seen it in stores. They're not joking. It came with the Hannah Montana movie, I think. You know, I'd love to go to like a big gaming event though and just walk around with a Hannah Montana PSP and be like, I love this system. It's the greatest system ever. And when they go look at it, like, why is it Hannah Montana? Just freak people out. beat up, and then someone would steal the PSP, and that would be great, like describing it to the police, like, what's the PSP look like? Well, sir, it has Hannah Montana on it. Just watch as they go quiet. There's closet Hannah Montana fans out there. That or just go around and be like, hey, I'll give you this PSP, but it's got Hannah Montana on it. I wonder how many people would still take it from you. Probably pretty much everybody, because it'd probably do the same thing and just skin it, but I think it'd be funny. A latent one, this is Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the Sega Saturn. It's the import version of it, but the import version does have some features that the Sega Saturn version has on it, like the Maria boss fight stuff, but you still can't beat Maria in the PSP version. But the PSP version is well worth it because you get 2 other games with it, which is nice. Why am I going around in circles? Let me check my map here because I'm kind of going all over the place. Just trying to get my mist and do the boss fight here. And go down. Okay, now it's making sense. That should be. I think we went this way. Any advice with getting subscribers and viewers on YouTube? You know what I generally do is I just put a link to my YouTube videos on any of the forums I go to, like Racket Boy or Nintendo Age. I just put it out there and just talk to people. Generally, people who will check you out on YouTube, like Splatter Trigger is an example. He added me just because I commented on one of his videos once. Did a mention for me. It's just pretty much just posting yourself around the internet. Facebook is a good way to do it. And just talking to other YouTubers out there. And if your content is good, people are going to come automatically. That's really the best advice I can give you. I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I've been doing this for almost 4 years. And I've only been seriously doing it for about 2. And I only have like 1,400 subscribers. I mean, there's people who have only been on for 6 months and they have a lot more. But I get a lot of views from my website more than I get views from my actual video on YouTube. That's just because I've done OnLevelLogic.com for years. Yep, exactly what our series says is just make good content, and that's the big thing. And another thing is, with the amount of subscribers you have doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually who's watching. Because I mean, I maybe get 300 to 500 hits on my videos. I would probably say a good 15-20% of my subscribers actually watch my videos on a regular basis. There we go with the boss fight. Yeah, go ahead and post your channel. Seriously, post it. That's definitely fine.
開け冥界の門入れよ我がしもべよさあ我が城を汚す小賢しいハエを叩き潰せ
Remove the URL. You know what? Let me check if that's a setting that I did. Hang on. on a second. Chat options. Pause the chat. Oh, here we go.
奴はベルモント
Links are on now. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize it. Go ahead and give it another try. Put the URL on there. It should work. Leighton one. That wouldn't be. It wouldn't happen to be the infamous Joe Domsky there, would it? No problem, guys. How's it going, Joe? Hey guys, quick, interesting little tidbit there. Leighton one's actually a longtime friend of mine through high school, and I actually introduced him to this game as well. And one of my favorite moments is he actually surprised me. He drew a really awesome picture of Alucard for me, and I think I actually still have it somewhere. But that thing was awesome. That was a really cool surprise from him. But we used to play this game like crazy too. Hey there, kid. Glad you like it, Joe. It's just kind of a fun way to play through games, and other people can... Oh, crap. Check it out, too. That was smart there. Thanks, kid. I appreciate it. Glad you like the videos, and I always try my best to keep things entertaining, so... Keep on watching. More will be coming soon. I got Midwest Gaming Classic coming up. We'll have footage from there, and... We'll be doing more of these too, because it's kind of fun to play through a game and talk to other people as you're playing it through. It's like having a room full of people playing a game with you, you know? My question is with Justin TV though, do they have a program that'll let you do like multiple audio devices and stuff like that? Because that was my only deal with this, is Ustream actually has a producer program you can download. It can use a couple of different things like different cameras as well as different audio sources, and you can mix through things. I have a lot of problems with Java interfaces. It crashed a lot on me, so that's kind of why I did the Ustream deal. See if I can not screw this up again. There we go. Now I gotta form a mist. Let's check this out. Yeah, I'll look into Justin TV and see if there's a better way of doing things. I don't have anything against it. It's just when I was looking at stuff and trying to find the best way to put stuff together without having to pay any money, this seemed to be the best way to do it. Okay, I think we're going back to the church now. XSplit, huh? I will check that out. That sounds interesting. I don't recall ever seeing it when I was trying to do links for it, or when I was trying to research what kind of programs to use. I tried using some kind of program that would let you put in like a webcam as well as another signal, but the thing just kept crashing, and I think that's because I use Windows 7 64-bit. That or it was just crappy programming, I don't know. But I'll try that. I think we should be back at the church at this point. Let's take a look at our map screen here. Oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff to hit still. I think I have this whole top area here. Take it easy, Super Curb. Thanks for stopping by. To capture the video, I'm just using a Pinnacle capture card. I also have a Hodgepodge HD capture card. For whatever reason, it hates it when you plug component stuff into it. Or composite video, rather, I should say. Not what I wanted to do there. Yep, I'm a huge fan of Symphony of the Night 2, and that's why I picked this up. It was a little pricey, but it was worth it. I'm a huge Castlevania fan in general, so it's nice to have it in the collection. Alright, let's map out what we need to do here. I'm getting rusty. It's been a long time. Actually, it's only been last year, but whatever. We got stuff to do up there. I'm pretty sure I have to go back into the caverns now that I got the double jump. I'm gonna fight the succubus. I can go back to the library. Let's head back to the library. I better stay. Is this a teleporter or is this the Coliseum again? You know what? There's actually another area I can go through here anyway. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Just going to cut through. Fuck you, suck bus, huh? That's a hidden enemy that's only exclusive to this version of the game. You also fight DJ Tristo in this too instead of Tiesto. It's another exclusive feature. And you can also get really good deals on cheeseburgers in this game. Yeah, that's a wolf with a sword that you can get stronger attacks from. And you can also go mist form, and what I'm looking for is the soul of bat so I can get to the first ending of this. Yeah, she uses her shriek attack to defeat enemies in this. Yep, Sasha's in it as well as Hash Brown. Yeah, I've been through 2 of the exclusive stages for this, and I believe there's one more exclusive stage that has a remix version of Bloody Tears. So far, the 2 exclusive levels, they're cool, but they're a little lackluster. Like, one is literally just a hallway. And the other one, actually, come to mention it, I think I'm wrong. I've only been to 1 so far. I still have the garden to go to and one other one, but I thought I went to 2 just because I entered it from another way. So we still got a while to go. Clock is really handy in this point because these guys do major damage. Gate. Yeah, Hanzo is great. I really, really hope he gets selected for the Mega Man tribute book that's coming out from Udon. The guy's got a lot of talent. That Poison piece he did for me a couple months ago is still my favorite piece by him, but the guy's got tons of talent. I wish nothing but the best for him. It depends on how many characters and stuff you're doing, but for like the Poison one, I think it was around $70, which is actually a pretty good deal. There's a guy I know here in a local comic book shop. For him to do commissions, he wants like $150 for things, and he's nowhere near as talented as Hanzo is. Yeah, $70. turned around here. Yeah, it's well worth it. It really is. And if you have a place where you can print it out at a decent size, they print out really nicely. They can go anywhere up to like 18 by 24. You can go bigger, but then you start getting pixelization. Bite Cthulhu in the ass here. Or not. I've played online with 911 Bones. I believe I've played with Splatter Trigger. I've played like a game or two with the Power Game Player. I don't jump online too much anymore, to be absolutely honest with you. Like, I'll occasionally jump on for Call of Duty. I thought I was going to jump online more with Marvel vs. Capcom, but I'm just not a huge fan of the game. But if you guys want to add me on Xbox Live and you got a game you want to play, I'm always interested in playing. I'm just not on too much. But my gamer tag is all in capital letters. There's a space between the unleaded and logic, but it's unleaded, space, logic, all caps. And this is what you're looking at right here is a Saturn exclusive level, which is kind of the hallway I was talking about. This is the Cursed Prison that wasn't in the PlayStation version of the game. These ghosts are a pain in my ass. PSN name is Mike IM. Nah, I just need to go to the library to get, if I remember right, I think the Soul of Bat is sitting in the library. With this playthrough, I'm just going through the first basic ending, and maybe I'll do another live stream maybe next week or something with the other endings with the inverted castle. Yeah, isn't that the sword that just shoots out like 50 swords? You hit it, it's just like one giant like sea of swords. It's been a while since I've used that sword. The last time I used that was like back in 1997 on the original PlayStation version. That's in Castlevania HD, isn't it? took the longest route to the library you could ever do. Sorry, guys. Okay, so from everyone who's seen the game so far, longtime fans, new fans, what has been your favorite music so far from this game? I still think my favorite's Young Nobleman of Sadness, that's in the clock tower. That's an elevator ride. End of the first ending, though I'm bypassing a lot of the extra stuff, just because I'm about, how far am I into this? Almost 3 hours into this, so. Wrong door. Yeah, I definitely can. I'm going to leave that for another live stream, though. That, and I may do it with Maria or a different character. I haven't decided yet. The sound's still coming in okay for you guys, right? Okay, cool, guys. My upload rate, I believe it's 16 megabytes per second. I got like a middle tier Comcast connection, so it's pretty decent for uploads. I mean, I can upload at about, yeah, I want to say it's about 16 megabytes upstream. Might as well get that. Yeah, the difficulty-wise is pretty much the same. If you go through the the first, like the cursed dungeon, if you're walking through it and you're not leveled up, you will get absolutely destroyed. And that's the one thing about playing Maria through this game. When I did play through it briefly with her, if you're not careful through that cursed dungeon, you'll be killed like instantly. Finally, we're in the library. The Japanese version of Castlevania 3 was harder in some instances and then easier in some instances. Like the last Dracula fight, if you're playing as Grant, is super easy. And I forgot, wasn't that in the Japanese version? They did like the further you got, the more slivers of health. There's a Saturn slowdown for you here. Check that out. Like the further you get into it, didn't it take like 4 slivers of health and 3 like the earlier stages and stuff like that? I don't remember. I just remember it was a little bit more varied in the American version. Oop, wrong button. Alright, there's a solar bat. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the clock tower and I'm going to go ahead and fight the, I guess you could say, final boss for the first ending here, and then we're gonna wrap up this video with that. Since we're getting into like the 3.5 hour mark here, I got tons of stuff I gotta do before I start the work week, so. But we will finish this. At least one of the endings. Nope, and I haven't done the succubus thing either. I'll do that through another playthrough. I could probably just resume my game at a later date since I am going to save this. For now, we're just going to do the basic first ending, and we'll wrap it up with that. Like I said, I may come back with it, or next playthrough I may do Maria. We'll see. And if you guys can, obviously, if you came from the YouTube video, if you can, just make sure you comment and thumbs up it. Because I think the big deal with doing these ustream things is people gotta hear some feedback about it, at least if it was interesting or if it was utter crap. So either way, if you guys thought this was crap, then comment on the YouTube page about it, or if you thought it was great, go ahead and comment on there too. Because the more people that see that it's at least interesting to hang out and play, hopefully the more people that'll come, you know. Nice little delay there with the bat. Thanks, spokesman. Second here, what's the wife saying? Going to Jewel, can you move the truck? I can do that in a little bit. Sorry about that. I can read very little, but I can understand the language. I've always liked this part of Symphony of the Night because it's a lot like the actual last stage of the PC Engine version of Rondo Blood. There's some obvious difference, of course, but... Love this song. Looks really, really cool. I'm very excited to try that game out. I just read an interview with or kind of a preview interview with the developers and stuff. And I think the last issue of PlayStation Magazine, and it does look really cool. It was one of those games, to be absolutely honest with you though, that I didn't think was ever going to come out, because I know it's been in development for a while, if I recall correctly. I'm hoping that it'll kind of do what Grand Theft Auto 3 did for the industry when it first came out, because everyone went insane when that game came out, and I have a feeling that LA Noire is going to do the same thing. Alright guys, really quick here, I'm going to jump on this elevator, and I got to run outside and move my truck really quick, because my wife needs to go do some grocery shopping, so just give me like 3 minutes and I'll be right back. Whoops. You guys still hear me okay? Yeah, you can't go wrong with Dick Tracy. Actually, the town I grew up in, which was Woodstock, Illinois, Chester Gold, the creator of Dick Tracy, is actually from there. So we have like a whole Dick Tracy museum. It's pretty hilarious. I tripped over my tripod coming back into the room, so that's what that loud crash was. Sorry. Okay guys, so this is kind of the, basically the last boss for the first ending, which you're essentially fighting Richter Belmont. So we're going to go up the castle here and we're going to fight him. It was Hannah Montana, she ambushed me. Now here's another interesting thing, see how it's changing in between the scenes here? And it's having to load this. And the PSX version, this was all absolutely open. There was no cut between these two. But regardless, it's time to take Richter to school here. That Hannah Montana's a sneaky one. Whoa. Okay, Richter's completely different looking from his PlayStation version compared to right now. Basically what's going on is just saying, why would a Belmont try to become the lord of this castle, become the lord of the Castlevania. And Richter says that Dracula only rises like every 100 years, but if he can control that power, then he can kind of be the ultimate vampire slayer, vampire killer. Essentially, what he just said here is evil never dies. No matter what you do, Dracula will always come back. Roughly. Yeah, pretty much.
人は常に戦い続ける。だがそれは生きるための戦いだ。彼は戦う宿命に生まれたため、戦いの中に生きる道を求めてしまったのか。
So the translation for this is Alucard just pretty much figures that as a human, Richter got tempted with all this incredible power, and he just fell for the dark spell, and he's kind of disappointed that he had to kill the long line of Belmonts. But he can't seem to think that there was some kind of other forces at work that made Richter do that. And spoiler alert, that is essentially the case. What you do to get the inverted castle and the additional endings is there's two items you have to get in order to see what's possessing Richter, and it actually happens to be the Dark Priest Shaft. I know Shaft is a completely horrible name, but he's from the Dracula X Rondo of Blood, and essentially he's responsible for resurrecting Dracula from the last game, and he's kind of possessed Richter. And using these goggles, what happens is you can see the orb that is possessing Richter, and you can break it. And after you break it, you pretty much free Richter from the spell, and you start in the inverted castle, which does two different endings. So pretty cool. But now we pretty much just got to decide if I do this next week or whenever I do it next, if you guys want to see it with Maria, or if you want to see the continuation of what goes on with Alucard here. Now the thing is with Maria, it's way faster to blow through everything because literally there's no storyline, there's no bosses, you don't need to pick up any of the extra items, so you can kind of flow through the inverted castle pretty quickly with either her or Richter. Now in the PSP version of this, in this game you kind of almost get this jazzy Japanese song. This is called I Am the Wind. A little weird for a Castlevania game, but it kind of fit for the time. But in the PSP version you actually get, I think it's called Nocturne of Sorrow, it's a different song. It kind of fits the ending credits a little bit better. As a trivial side note, my little brother loves this song. He loved it a lot when he was in grade school, and he won't admit it now, but I always like teasing him about it. And what's cool, are you serious about the fact that you're picking up the PSP version, is now you can play the new Round of Blood and the original PC engine, and the backstory of this game is going to make so much more sense with everything because it all flows in with each other. I agree, you can't go wrong with Bloody Tears no matter what the situation is. It's kind of like Guile's Street Fighter music. I guess one of these days I should actually do a couple videos of me doing some Castlevania music, because I have learned all the sheet notes and sheet music to a lot of Castlevania songs like Bloody Tears, Deja Vu, or Vampire Killer, a couple other ones. Sounds like her. Her name is Rika something or other. I don't remember. It does kind of sound like her, though, admittedly. Nice. She'd get a kick out of that. And there you go, guys. That is the first ending to Dracula X, Nocturne in the Moonlight, otherwise known as Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really have to go to the bathroom after like 4 Pepsis, so I am going to conclude this broadcast. You guys got any questions for me before I head off? Or top off? And not a problem at all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I see the viewers kind of went anywhere from 5 to 10, which, hey, is pretty decent. I think that's better than the last live broadcast I did. That was a lot of fun. I'll be doing more of these because it's just lots of fun to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If nobody has any questions, that's it. I'm headed out of here. Sounds good, guys. Yeah, if you want to drop by and let your opinions be heard, let me know. If you've got opinions for what game you'd like me to do next or check out, definitely leave a comment on there. And with that, I'm out of here. Peace, guys. Thanks again.